OR, happy day. We're working on the O of our SOAP framework, today, and the R in relationships. Now, I don't know why my head went huge, but it's super duper annoying, especially on this particular one that I've chosen to work on. Yesterday, the story I told my imaginary friend George was all about personal relationships, and that I am absolutely positively closed to the possibility of, and have been for quite a long time, having any type of a romantic relationship for a whole lot of reasons. And of course, as I expound and expanded on my reasons to George, my imaginary friend, he of course reminded me and called me on my BS and told me, since he was a sea captain, I would have to walk the plank if I didn't knock that off. So my story was about being totally close to relationships, and what I want is to be open to the possibility. So as we go from the story we've been telling ourselves, the current story, to the story of what we want, we move into the O of our SOAP framework, which is all about options, right? All about the options and the possibilities, all the possible ways we could close the gap from being totally closed about a subject to open on a subject, to being totally against a personal relationship to having a personal relationship. So today we're going to take this a step further. We're obviously on an imagination route or path today and this week and during this time through the SOAP framework, from the imaginary friend to today we're going to talk about a tool I call the imagination station. Now, an imagination station, you can physically go to a place where you use your imagination and you visualize about a topic that you're thinking about, or you can just go in your imagination. That's why it's called an imagination station. So when I go to, or I want to tap into a place where I can clearly visualize something, because I don't know about you, but when I first started and heard about visualization, I thought, oh, that's BS. I don't visualize. I don't see pictures in my mind. I don't do that. But the truth is, we all think in pictures. We don't think in words. We think in graphics and pictures, and it's different for each of us, but we all do it. Has anybody ever told you to not think of a pink elephant? Try to not think of a pink elephant. Well, I don't know about you, but whenever anybody says something, my brain automatically shows me pictures of a pink elephant or some kind of a pink elephant. Try to not think of a purple dragon. Don't think of a horse in a face mask. Well, the first thing you're going to do is think of a purple horse in a face mask, or a pink horse, or whatever. We always think about and visualize things no matter what. If someone's telling us a story, we naturally start filling in the blanks of the story with the details in our own minds. I've had several people teach me and talk to me about this. The more details you put in a story, or the more detailed yet open you leave your story, the easier it is for people to put themselves in that story. Think about reading a book. Have you ever read a book or watched a movie and realized that you are experiencing it as if you were the hero or the heroine in that story? It's on purpose. We do that naturally as human beings. We put ourselves into the situation or into the story. So with our imagination station, we want to put ourselves in that place that feels awesome and wonderful and terrific to us. So we wouldn't pick a place where we had a bad experience. We would pick our favorite place in the whole wide world, a place we had an amazing experience, or an imaginary place. We can actually make up a place that would be what we think would be the most amazing, incredible, best place in the whole wide world. I've done both. I've done the exercise using both. Real places. I used to actually go to real places when I wanted to think and ponder and deal with challenges and problems and situations. I would go to the sand dunes north of Green Bay when I worked in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I would go to, when I was a little girl, I would go to the woods behind our house. I would walk in the woods behind our house, and I actually had a favorite spot and a down tree where I would go hang out and do things and think. When I lived out in the country just a couple of years ago, one of my favorite places to go was the state park. Wisconsin has an incredible network of state parks, and I would love to go out there and walk and think and work through problems and challenges. And now I live by the river, so I love to walk down by the river and hang out there. And whether I can go to those places or not, it just started snowing here, so I'm probably not going to necessarily go out and sit by the river to think and to go through the O and the options and think about the possibilities for this particular challenge, because it's snowy and cold. I'll probably go for a walk today, but I'm probably not going to hang out in the cold, rainy. Yesterday it was raining. I think it's still raining today and sleety. So I will go in my mind, which is the imagination station part of the visualization. So I'll just probably visualize that I am sitting down by the river on a bench or something and think about the possible options. What are the possible ways that I can fill the gap from where I am to where I want to be? And I'm going to do a little bit more work on the urging of my imaginary friend to actually clarify what I want and what I want that to look like before I come up with options. So today I'm going to come up with at least 10 different possible options to get me from being completely closed off and have zero interest in having a personal relationship to being open to having a personal relationship. And letting go of all the BS reasons, according to George, that I am not and staying here, and why I've been just letting myself be here, and how I get from there. So that's filling the gap from where I am to where I want to be. So I'm going to come up with at least 10 things. I'm going to share 3 of them, 3 possible ways I can create that in my life in the comment section under the action item for today, day 23. And I will share those. I haven't done the exercise yet, just like you, but I want to always come up with as many possibilities as I can. That's why we talked about brainstorming the first time through the SOAP framework, because we want to always be open to and always be adding to our list of possible options, possible solutions, possible ways to narrow that gap. So when we try one and it doesn't work, we don't feel like, oh my gosh, the world is over. We don't have anything else to do. It's this or that. Remember that black and white thinking? We want to get away from that, and we want to know that we have a lot of different options. And that's why I make you share 3. You notice each time I've made you share at least 3 as part of the action item, because it gets us out of that black and white, it's this way or that way only type of thinking. So obviously this is a very uncomfortable topic for me, which is why I chose it. And I battled with myself on it as I was thinking about it this morning again after doing the homework yesterday, because I'm like, do I really want to share that? And I think it's important to show that I am working on the same type problems and challenges that everybody else is, and especially during COVID-19. COVID-19, it's really easy to stay in the little cocoon of not forming relationships with people. We can do them remotely, but it's still a lot safer than actually connecting with people. And so this pandemic isn't going to last forever, and our excuse will go away. So just like everybody else, I want to make sure that I'm not using COVID-19 or anything else, my past experiences, as an excuse to not create what I want in my life. So that's our challenge for today. Try out the imagination station. If you want, share in the comments below. If you've got questions, share in the comments below your experience with this. I gotta tell you, yesterday, and I haven't written it up yet in the units section, but I had a blast reconnecting with my imaginary friend. I have not talked to George for decades, and it was just really, really fun to remember how much fun it was to have like a little imaginary ghost friend that advised in different areas and aspects of my life. So that's it. Have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow with day 24 of our Get Up and Go challenge. And tomorrow we are going to talk about the A, of course, in the SOAP framework, which is action, in case you forgot. All right. Have an amazing day. Catch you tomorrow.